Hey.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back. Marlene and Alyssa here yet again, and this is What's Your Favorite Scary Story?
Welcome.
Hello, how are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good, actually.
Good. How was your day?
Pretty good day. Again, I was sick over the weekend.
Of course you were.
Yeah.
Just like all the different varieties
Well,
that exist.
I think I had a stomach bug. I think I got a stomach bug on Friday. Yeah, so that happened.
Yeah,
but I feel better.
It was just for like a minute. You're fine.
I feel better today, so we're good.
Good.
How are you?
What matters. I'm good. I had a good day too. Spent with you. Those are always the good days. I know it's lame,
agree.
but
No, I love spending my time with you.
well, you better. We're getting married.
It's my favorite time.
Good. All right, what are we watching this week on our screen to distract ourselves from the podcast?
Well, you love the Pacific Northwest specifically.
Specifically that one, you are correct.
So today we have it's like a video montage of like the forest in Washington.
Like all the different kind of forests.
All the different kind of forests. Yeah. There's a river and then the forest right now.
Yep, I see some mountains off there to the corner. Yeah, it's a good time.
Yeah, it's a good one. I honestly couldn't think of what to watch.
Yeah, so I was like, today. I have an idea.
Yeah.
But yeah, is there anything you wanted to say before we got started today?
Yeah, I just want to thank everybody who's tuning in every week and listening.
Oh, yes, thank you.
Yes, thank you very much. And we've gotten a couple of monthly donations through the Spotify.
Yeah.
So we freaking appreciate that, man. Thank you. Thank you, you guys. You know who you are.
Yes,
we
thank you very much.
Thanks for the support.
Yeah, we're getting pretty close to probably being able to start merch soon, so that's awesome.
Yeah, that's exciting because I've been wanting a freaking t-shirt.
I know, I need my crew neck sweatshirt.
Yeah, so we're excited for that, and once we get that up and going, we'll let you guys know when all that's ready for you guys to, to enjoy with us. So let's keep going, guys. Yes.
For real, though, like I said, we can't do this stuff without you guys, so send in those suggestions. Send in any stories you have. Anything you are able or willing to contribute. Super appreciated, and we love you guys, so thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks
the contribution, just one last thing, isn't only monetary. You can share our stuff.
True,
you can share it with your friends, listen to it, stream it. You don't have to listen to it. Just click play and put it on the side or something.
Go about your day, do your chores. If you have like a road trip coming up, give it a shot. It'll take up some of your time.
Yeah, the road trip.
I like literally only listen to like my spooky podcast when I'm driving anywhere, and it makes my drive feel like nothing.
It's so
perfect.
short. It feels so short. It's so great. But yeah, thank you guys.
Yes, thank you very much. All right, are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay, so this week is going to be pretty similar to last week. Kind of in the sense that it's mostly going to be stories again that we're talking about.
Okay.
This is because today we are covering the topic of shadow people.
Oh my gosh. Yo, shadow people are... Have you seen those videos of the shadow figures being caught on camera?
I feel like we've probably seen like something together.
Like where they... You can think, like, assume that it's just like a person like dressed in black or something, but the way the shadow moves is like not human like.
Well, I want to see that now.
It just like makes me think like, and usually they're around a corner, like behind the corner,
like peeking out.
Yeah, peeking out. Oh my god, that shit's fucking gives me the heebie-jeebies.
Well, good. There's gonna be a whole bunch of stories we get to talk about them today.
Let's do it.
All right. So, this topic, it was suggested by our friend who is also named Alyssa. This is a third Alyssa that lives in Arizona. So,
that's my Alyssa.
Yeah, it's a big shout out and thank you to her.
Yo, if your Alyssa's listening, Alyssa, my best friend is one of my best friends is also Alyssa. So
just Alyssa's everywhere. Yeah. It's fine.
That's so funny.
The funny thing is. Okay, so my sister's name is Jennifer, my brother's name is Christopher, and then I came along 9 years later, and my mom was like, okay, my my husband got to pick out my first 2 kids' names. I'm picking out the third one, and I'm going to make it original and unique, something you can't shorten. And when I was born, Alyssa was like one of the most popular baby names that year. And she ended up shortening my name to Liz most of the time. So just a fun fact there. But yeah, okay, so I've got to say I was like a little apprehensive to cover this topic just because of how expansive it is. Right. But I am glad that I went for it because it's going to be a good one.
It's a spooky one, honestly. I'm glad you're doing this one because it's freaking spooky.
Right, and honestly, part of it too was because I'm like, okay, well, what are the stories going to be? Like, oh, they saw a shadow figure and that's it. But no, that's not it.
Yeah, no, I've heard some stories and...
Yeah.
Okay, I think I'm ready.
All right, so like I normally do, before we get into our stories, let's just talk a little bit about what shadow people are. So obviously they're pretty much just exactly what they sound like. But Wikipedia was the only place I found a legit definition. But you know what? Wikipedia, like, can have some legit stuff on there sometimes.
Yeah,
but...
no, they actually... Wiki is like... You know, I fuck with Wiki, dude. Like, I don't know why... Teachers were such haters.
For real.
Haters on Wiki.
No, there's actual information on there.
Anyone can put information on there and make it all fake. And, you know, like it wasn't a reliable source. Nowadays, I feel like it could be. You know?
It's the only place that had a definition for me. Like the Webster's can't even help me out here, but Wikipedia's got my back. Like, yeah. So they define a shadow person as... the perception of a patch of shadow as a living species, humanoid figure, sometimes interpreted as the presence of a spirit or other entities by believers in the paranormal or supernatural.
Ugh, I hate that, bro. I hate it. I hate these.
So
okay.
This next part is interesting. I actually found a website called Villains Wiki, and they did a really good job at like breaking down different explanations of shadow people.
Oh, so there's different?
Yeah, no, there was technically 4 different like sub explanations in it, so I thought that was really interesting. So first they get into like the folklore of it, and supposedly shadow people have existed in like all different kinds of cultures since prehistoric times. They also display similarities to many different ghosts and demons in different folklores. And shadow people often bring a presence of the feeling of doom, dread, and despair. In the folklores, they're known for bringing great destruction or ruin, such as the death of those who encountered them, the failing of harvests, the coming of plague, and the arrival of a natural disaster, such as a flood or an earthquake. So that was the folklore, like, explanation. Now, in terms of paranormal studies, shadow people have many theories explaining them, ranging from them being the spirits of the dead, echoes of past or future events. Like, with that, it's kind of like the idea of parallel dimensions. Like, if you remember in the movie Insidious, where he was going, like, as an adult, he was going back to a different, like, time, and he showed up, like, as a, quote, ghost, like, to his, like, younger self. So kind of like people hopping around in different dimensions, and that's like how they show up is like as a shadow figure.
So kind of like if I were to see myself, I would see me as a shadow person.
Or just like anyone else.
Because I'm jumping from I'm jumping my timeline kind of.
Yeah, I mean it could be like timeline wise or dimension wise.
Fuck.
Yeah, and then of course they are sometimes thought to be demonic entities. So the possibility of them being cryptids was mentioned. The theories range from them being undiscovered humanoids or possibly being connected to aliens. I'm not too sure about this one, but I just wanted to mention it because they did. And then, of course, there are scientific explanations that would cause someone to see a shadow person, such as schizophrenia, bipolar disorder, and the most common one, sleep paralysis. For those of you who don't know, sleep paralysis is a condition that causes the body to become paralyzed when waking up, but it also causes the brain to remain active, which will cause horrible hallucinations most of the time of shadow figures and other things that do often come off demonic. And I know you've like experienced sleep paralysis, right?
Yeah, but I don't have the hallucinations with
Good.
it.
Thank God. Oh my God.
I mean, I have opened my eyes, and like, because I've had sleep paralysis where I cannot open my eyes.
Wow.
And I'm awake, but my body, like my mind's awake, and I know I'm awake.
Yeah.
And I can hear everything around me. But my eyes just can't open, and
That's
I can't.
So frustrating.
I can't talk. I can't move.
Right.
So that's fucking creepy. But I've also experienced where, and for some reason I slept on my back, which is why I never sleep on my back. For those back sleepers, I'm sorry.
That'd be me.
Yeah. But I woke up and I just couldn't move and I couldn't talk. But my eyes were open. And I was just kind of like shifting my eyes around the room because that's all I could do. But then I just felt like something was pushing me onto the bed.
Ugh.
And I just couldn't move. And then I just...
Oh my God.
I can't remember if I prayed or something or if I just like forced myself, like tried really, really hard to like wake up. But I was going to mention something about the schizophrenia because you know how like there's like a theory on like schizophrenic people, how supposedly their minds, it's not an illness, but that they just have like an even like a special ability to be able to, kind of like how mediums can hear and see people, like kind of like,
that's interesting.
I don't know how to explain it, but it's something like that.
A lot of stuff when I was like out there looking and on the Reddits and stuff, you know, of course there is the argument where they're like, well, are you sure that they, you know, don't have a mental illness like schizophrenia or something like to cause that? And it's like, that's a good point, because you're right, like we do believe the mediums that just say they straight up do see these spirits, and it's like, do people, it's like, because obviously there is like so much more that does go into being schizophrenic.
It's not just like
seeing things, it's much more than it's hearing things and
erratic behavior and all that.
I mean, that's like an interesting theory. I guess it's just more like
because there's also people who aren't that far into that spectrum of
and it's
schizophrenia.
Just different too, because it's like hearing the voices and stuff like that, but it's like it doesn't make sense kind of thing, you know, where it's like the mediums like are actually contacting a spirit, whereas, you know, I've had a family member with schizophrenia, and it was like things wouldn't make sense that they would say, kind of thing.
It would or wouldn't?
It wouldn't.
Oh.
Yeah. That like, I think, I mean, it's an interesting theory, but like it could be like an exaggerated version, I suppose, of it.
Yeah, I could see that, because it really is, it's obviously just a theory. I mean, I'm not trying to dismiss mental illness or anything, but yeah, it's just like, Oreo's snoring in the back.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys can hear that.
But yeah, that's why I just wanted to mention that, because like there's that theory.
Interesting. Yeah, I haven't heard that. But what's crazy to me is that these like hallucinations that people will have when they're experiencing sleep paralysis, and they see a literal demon in the corner or standing over them, it's like 1,000% supported by medicine that yes, this happens when you experience sleep paralysis, and it's not real, your brain's just making it up, but like you're awake and you're seeing these things, and it's just crazy.
Well, that's also science. Like, I feel like
that's crazy to me.
If you're a heavy believer on science, like a lot of scientists, you know, don't believe, they're atheists,
right?
Because like science explains everything to them, right? So I don't know, but
it's just crazy.
Because it's the same thing, like the way that scientists dismiss near-death experiences, like the life flashing before your eyes kind of thing. It's just like your brain releasing the DMT chemical, where, you know, it's just your brain dying, and it's just your brain literally like forcing itself to keep going, so it's just giving up all its juices, and it releases that, and which they dismiss as just science in your brain fighting, but religious people are like, you know, I saw God, I saw heaven, or I saw hell, and it exists, and it's like, to scientists, it's just your brain trying, you know, trying to survive. So,
Didn't think we'd get that deep, but damn. I mean, it's you. What else should I expect? But are you ready to get into some stories?
I am. Let me just fix my microphone.
Okay. So, this person in our first story was taking her friend home. And when they got to her apartment, they were just sitting in her car for a bit when they both saw a dark body-shaped being fall from the sky, pass directly in front of a street lamp, and into the ground.
What the heck?
I told you, it's not just like seeing a shadow in your room. Like, these are crazy stories.
It's crazy that it's outside first.
Outside, and two people at the same time, too. And, like, it's doing this. She said it looked like a featureless person that was pitch black. And it even, like, it blocked the light from the lamp as it was falling. So it wasn't, like, transparent, like a shadow.
What the hell?
So that's it for that story. These are, like, going to be shorter stories, but they are quite interesting. So I think you guys are going to like them. But isn't that wild?
That is wild.
I've never heard of a story like that. That's like Peter Pan's shadow, like, running away or something.
I was thinking of, like, the Spider-Verse movies and stuff, how he's, like, going through dimensions.
Oh my god, you're right.
Yeah.
That's totally
and he's just falling through it, and he's like, you know? Oh, shit.
Meanwhile, these people in, like, on Earth are like, did you see that? What the heck was that?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. So, the next story is from a man who would see shadow people at work after biking there very early in the morning. I'm going to be reading this story in his words because he did a good job and it was kind of hard to paraphrase. Okay. I started seeing the odd shadow, maybe one every other day. Just a black figure highlighted by my bike torch stood lightly hunched over with their head bowed, and they were probably around 5 feet tall. I gradually started seeing more and more of them over time, until a few months down the line, I would open the back gate and be greeted by a corridor of them, all lined up side by side.
Oh my god.
Can you imagine by yourself, like, probably still dark outside, just opening like a gate to that?
Oh my god. No. What the fuck? I'd just close the door,
be like,
run back inside.
I'm not going to work today.
Call my boss and be like, yeah, I can't. I have shadow people, and I don't know how to explain it.
He says, okay, continuing in his words, they were harmless, and I could just walk straight past them and see them up close within a few feet. They were motionless, just stood there like statues. Funnily enough, it stopped suddenly for no reason. Nothing significant happened, and one day I stepped out, expecting to see them, and there was nothing there. I'm just glad I don't see them anymore. Which I would be too. But yeah, that one, the fact, like, when it's multiple shadow figures, like, just hanging out with you, like, you're not just, like, seeing it quickly out of the corner of your eye, or they disappear, like, they're just standing there welcoming him into work.
Yeah.
That's
fucking
crazy.
Weird. That's weird.
All right, so for our next story, this person was at their friend's house where there was a little get-together with just a few people hanging out. Oh my god, this one's crazy. Just a few people are hanging out and they're having a couple drinks. So him and one other person ended up staying the night after the get-together, and he slept upstairs in the bonus room and the other guy slept downstairs on the couch. So all of a sudden hello, Oreo. So all of a sudden in the middle of the night, he wakes up to what he describes as bloody murder screaming. He's still kind of trying to wake up and at first just thinks it's his friend's little sister, maybe having a bad dream. But after about 30 seconds, the screaming is still going on. He finds it odd that nobody is going to comfort her and starts to think that maybe it's something else. Because apparently the screaming was so intense that it sounded like someone was getting chopped up or something. He peeks his head out the door and it sounds like the screams are coming from downstairs. So he tiptoes about halfway down the stairs, which, why are you doing that, bro? And then it sounds like the screaming is coming from upstairs. So he makes his way back up the stairs. And then it sounds like it's coming from downstairs again. So at this point, he doesn't know what to do, and he's just kind of sitting there in his sleeping bag, hoping the screaming stops. It finally does after a few minutes, and he lays down and tries to just calm himself down and figure out what he just heard. When suddenly he notices movement in the far corner of the room, and when he looked over, there was a figure standing in the corner watching him.
Fuck.
As soon as he notices it, the figure starts walking towards him, and he is frozen solid. The figure literally steps right over him in his sleeping bag, opens the door, and walks out of the room.
What the fuck?
So he sits there for a good hour before he's able to fall asleep, which I would turn the lights on and sit there the whole entire night.
I would wake up everyone else.
Yeah, exactly. So the next morning, he asks his 2 friends what the heck all that screaming was, and of course nobody else heard it.
Fuck.
So that was that story. That one's probably the creepiest to me.
That's
honestly.
Creepy. When you said that he heard a loud yell, a loud screaming, like bloody murder or whatever, it reminded me of this. There's this syndrome called exploding head syndrome.
What?
So, yeah.
Excuse me?
So it's exploding head syndrome. I don't know. This used to happen to me when I was kind of in a very stressful time in my life, in 2019. And I would get woken up by a big bang. Like if someone smashed something on the floor, it sounded like that. By someone saying, "Hey." Things
I don't like
that.
that one.
It was just creepy like that. And
wait, I've heard of something like that actually recently, but I didn't know the name of being
it's literally called exploding head syndrome.
But this is okay. That's similar.
I can't remember if screaming is one of them, yelling and things like that. So that's why I thought that was it.
But is it just when you're waking up?
It's technically classified as it's in the class of nightmares.
Right, so this guy's literally walking down the stairs and hearing it for a couple of minutes.
Right. That's why I didn't know if you.
I mean, I don't know. I've never heard of the name of this. So I don't know all the scientific facts behind it.
Yeah, no, it's
That's crazy though. Oh, that's so creepy.
Yeah, it's technically a sleeping disorder kind of thing, and I'm pretty sure it happens when you're under a lot of stress or something, if you're fucking depressed or shit like that. If you're just not in a great mental state. But
that's
yeah,
so scary. Regardless.
Yeah, no, I mean, I was very stressed at that time in my life, and it was very bad. I would hear crashes, a big bang crashes, someone calling for me, you feel crazy. Honestly.
Dang, I just wake up by feeling like I'm tripping off a curb. Guess it's not so bad. Okay, so moving on. In our next story, we have a young couple who are out late at night taking a drive, and around 3 a.m., they decided to park and take a walk around a cemetery.
Why? I mean, that sounds
I guess it's pretty classic, but let's use our brains, people.
I know, that's what I meant when I said why.
What good thing is gonna happen?
Yeah, no.
Let's just not.
Unless you're with a bigger group of people. Yeah. 5 of you.
That's still in the movies. There's big groups in these cemeteries. Trust me, I've seen them all.
Yeah, but
every single one.
I know you have. That's why we don't go to hay rides and
corn mazes.
Yeah,
unless it's in the daytime.
Universal
Horror Nights, because that is where an actual murderer could show up. It's the perfect hiding place for them. What is the thing? I will die on this hill. That's what it is.
Yeah, I'll stand right next to you.
Thank you. And die with me too?
Yes, of course.
Okay, perfect. What are we talking about? Oh, yeah, they went to the cemetery.
Right.
So they walked around for a little while, and they eventually came across a chapel. Going to the chapel, and we're gonna get married. Ooh, that was nice.
Was it? I don't know. I don't think so.
Okay, all right, never mind. Anyways, so they found a chapel, and they walked around it and just decided to head back to the car. And after walking for about 20 to 30 meters, they stopped because they saw something. Only they didn't exactly see the same thing. They both saw like a figure in a human form, but the man saw a woman with long hair, and like the profile of a woman with long hair. And then the woman saw a man with a coat and a hat.
So they each saw a figure.
Like at the same place.
But different.
Different versions of it. And like I know we've heard stories about like the Hat Man as a shadow person.
You can't say his name. It gives me the heebie-jeebies.
Okay. I mean, that's what we're here for.
I know, I just...
Yes. Oh, I didn't finish that one. So she saw a man with a coat and a hat moving sideways away from them, but the movement was odd, almost as if it lifted its knees unusually high, which I can't even like really picture, but it sounds weird. It was completely black, no contrast, suggesting it could be a person, but not transparent either, like a cloud or a shadow, like the one in our first story where it blocked out the light. After they saw it, they both panicked and started running like crazy back to the car. Yeah, that one was a short one, but the fact that they saw like different things, like I've never heard that before.
That's crazy. Yeah. Damn.
And that's like very different. Like a man with a coat and a hat and then a woman with long hair. Wild.
It's like they saw like the Grudge and the suit and hat man.
Yep.
I don't want to say it. I don't want to fucking say it, dude.
What is this, like Beetlejuice or something?
Yeah, like fucking
You
Voldemort.
know, when you say like the demon's name, you have dominion over it, right? Like you have power, like in The Conjuring. So saying its name gives you power over it, supposedly.
Well, I will save that until
you need it.
Until I need it.
Okay, that's
until
a good
then,
plan.
That thing is not getting near me. It's not allowed.
Yep, I agree. I agree.
All right.
I am on your side there.
Let's move on.
Okay. So, we have one more story.
Oh, okay.
So for those of you who didn't see, I asked on Instagram for any experiences that people might have had with shadow people, but I also posted on Reddit in hopes that maybe someone on there might have a story for me. And
I love Reddit.
Somebody did. Yeah, I got a response. So this person's name is Emmy. So thank you very much, Emmy. It is super appreciated. I'm gonna send them the link to this episode.
Yeah, heck yeah. Thanks, Emmy.
Yeah, they hope everyone finds this story as interesting as they do. So the following is going to be in their words.
All right.
Bright, sunny summer afternoon. Blue sky, middle of the day. I could hear lawnmowers and kids outside that had just gotten off the bus. I had just got home from school. This was just days before summer vacation started. My family were painting our living room, and all the furniture was covered in drop cloths and pushed to the center of the room. This is relevant. So I just got home, grabbed a can of soda, cranked up some music very loud on our stereo, and laid on one sheet-covered sofa in the middle of the room. From where I'm laying, out of the corner of my eye, I can see the stairs. Suddenly, I saw what I thought was my mother's dark hair coming up the stairs. I turn towards her and start to yell over my loud music. "What are you doing home so early?" But I stop in the middle of the sentence when I actually see what's coming up my stairs. To my absolute horror, I saw a roughly 6 to 7 foot tall black mass moving up the stairs. It was black and darkness, but also see-through. It hovered and stopped moving at the top landing and then moved slightly closer to me. Terrified, I shuffled back over all the furniture that had been pushed together until I was as far away as I could possibly be from the black smoke monster. It felt like forever, but was probably only a minute or so. Then it just floated there. It felt like it was watching me, and I felt dread and terror like nothing I had ever felt before. I was frozen in fear, music still blasting from the speakers. Finally, it basically sunk down through the floor, and I was left alone in the bright, sunny living room. After a little bit of time, I worked up the courage to get up and turn off the music. I called my mother and begged her to come home. She accused me of having an overactive imagination or having fallen asleep. No one believed me, and I was absolutely terrified of being alone in that house until we moved away. I seriously still think about what I would do if I turned around and it was standing behind me. I've never been gripped with terror like that before or since, and I've been a victim of a home invasion by a non-shadow person. And other terrible things, and those don't even begin to come close to how scary this was. A weird addendum to this story is that shortly after this experience, I went to a friend's home for the first time. I had not told her, or anyone else besides my parents, what I had seen. So we get into her living room, and she points up the stairs to a landing on the second floor and says to me plainly, "I saw a black shadow demon standing, watching me from the top of those stairs." To say that this unsettled me is a massive understatement. I had half convinced myself that I was crazy rather than a witness to something paranormal. But after she told me about seeing the same thing I had just seen weeks prior, I was more scared than ever. Years later, I told my friend about my encounter as well. She's the only one who has ever fully believed me.
Fuck.
Damn.
Holy shit.
Crazy. I'm telling you, it is always scarier when it's like an actual person like telling us this story.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, because who's gonna like make up a story just to send to like a podcast?
Right.
So it's more believable, and it's like scarier because I feel like we can more so put ourselves like in their position.
Yeah, and it sounds like fucking like I don't even know how I would react.
No.
Like that shit's terrifying. Like how do you even?
And they're right, like because it happened in their home, so it's like.
If they're not used to it, like if the home's not haunted and they're not used to that, like...
Because that was something else I saw too, where it's like, it doesn't have to be a haunted place for like shadow people to show up. They can just show up like anywhere, like how it showed up in front of like a street light. You know, so like they're right. Like even if they moved, it could just show up at any second. Like I'm not trying to like scare you any more than you already are, but damn, your story scared us.
Yeah, holy shit.
Crazy. Yeah, that's all my stories. You have anything to say about shadow people? Any opinions?
I want to share a story of a shadow person or a figure or something. Just because it's relevant.
All right, let's hear it. So, you always have something relevant to say.
So growing up, my mom used to tell me the story about how I can't tell you who she had just given birth to, if it was me or my sister or something. Mm-hmm. It might have been my sister. So they didn't live in their own house, my parents. They were renting a room from like a family friend, maybe. I don't know who it was. It was a family someone. Mm-hmm. And it was here in San Fernando. Right, if you know San Fernando, it's right across the street from the court, San Fernando Court. And across the street from the elementary. So my mom had just given birth. She'd gone back to the house, and my dad was a carpenter, so he would always get up like at 4 mm-hmm. in the morning to get ready and go to work. So on this day, my mom wakes up before my dad does. Mm-hmm. And she's in the sleeps of like the in and outs of taking care of a newborn, right? Which I don't personally know, but
if you know, you know. You know. We don't know, and we still kind of know.
Yeah,
we get it.
We're Tias, we know.
Yeah.
So she wakes up before my dad does, and it's like right before the sun totally comes up, so you can kind of make out what's around the room. Mm-hmm. There's not light, but it's not completely dark. And she sees this tall black figure on the corner of the room. So tall that, first of all, this shadow figure is wearing a black robe. Oh. And the figure is so tall that its head...
Was it hunched over?
It was hunched over.
Yeah, I saw a story like that online. Like, the rest of it wasn't, like, very interesting, but I read that sentence and it creeped me out.
Yeah. with like its head was hunched over.
Oh my God, I'm like picturing it and it's giving me gross feelings.
Yeah, and so that my mom was just like, what the fuck? She just like, you know, and that she just grabbed the covers and just put it over her head with like the baby under. And she just couldn't go back to sleep. And that's all she told. That's all she said.
That's scary.
But,
and it wasn't like sleep paralysis, right?
It wasn't sleep paralysis. So in the morning after, you know, the sun came up and she finally got the courage to take her head out from under the covers, she called to my grandma. She was like, hey, Mom, you can't, this freaking happened. Like, what the heck? And that my grandma was like, no, it's just post. What do they call it? It's like postpartum. You're just hallucinating and like you're fine, you know.
Does that happen to new
I
moms?
have no idea.
Yo, if you've ever had a kid, like, can you tell us if hallucinations are part of postpartum? I've never heard of that.
I've never heard of that. I told my mom, I was like, I think she was just trying to calm me down.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, I was like, I don't even know if that's a real thing or not, but yeah, you know how Mexican moms can be, but yeah, I just wanted to, you know, but that's it. That's the story, but it seems like kind of relevant. So
it's creepy. Yeah, I've had 2 shadow people experiences. Those are my only real like paranormal experiences, but they weren't like scary at all. The first one was in my mom's house in Tennessee, and it's like a new build, like a few years old, maybe like 5 years old max. And I was just standing in the kitchen, and from the kitchen I can see like a wall, and then to the right of the wall is like how you enter my mom's bedroom. And I just looked over and it was just like a shadow figure moving into her room. I saw that, and then I pretty much saw like the same thing on the Queen Mary, where it was like we were on the boat and we could either go left down the stairs or right out to the deck. And the stairs to the left, I saw again just a shadow figure move to the right, and I took a look down the stairs, and if there was an actual person going that way, they would have walked into a wall.
Right.
Yeah, so those are my 2 experiences, but with both of them, I didn't feel like scared or anything, and it was very quick for both of them, but I was like certain of what I've seen.
I'm sure that's also because you couldn't really make out the figure. Like, I feel like if you see...
If it's like stationary.
Dude.
So God. You don't have any like shadow figure experiences yourself?
Me personally?
Mm-hmm. I feel like I don't believe that. I feel like you have to have something.
No, I feel like I think I see things, but like it's the same thing. Like I'm good.
Right.
I'm fine without having an experience.
Yeah, you're right.
You know,
you're right.
Baby Jesus got me. You know, I'm good. I don't need to see any of that.
No, I know.
Yeah, no.
I guess I'm just surprised you don't have a personal story this time.
Well, no, that's what I mean. Like, I think I see things.
No, yeah, I get it.
It's nothing.
Which is good.
It's great. I love it over here.
Good. I'm glad.
The sunshine is great. That's like that.
Oh, yeah. We have trees up on the screen.
Yeah.
So beautiful.
I love it.
Well, there's an awful lot of sun in these videos. Where's the cloudy Washington State that I know and love?
The mountains
that's
there.
not Washington cloud coverage. That's like normal clouds.
That's like
I need like gloomy overcast all day.
I get it, but that right there, I love that. That's like my kind of like vibe there. I could live there.
I know.
Just build a house in the middle and close off all the walking roads, and I'll just drop me off there.
Okay. Sounds good.
Thank you. Look right there. Look at all the lavender.
I need more clouds.
It's beautiful.
It's very pretty.
Well,
that was our topic for the week. It was a little short.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
But I mean, I thought it was a really interesting one.
It's a good one.
It was a cool topic to cover. I didn't expect to find those kind of stories.
Yeah, no, but I'm ready to go say some Hail Marys and sage the room and
do what you gotta do.
Do my thing, because I got the heebie-jeebies.
I'm gonna edit this and go to sleep because we're going to Disneyland tomorrow.
Yay!
Woo! Yay, Disney.
All
right. Well, I guess you can go ahead and wrap things up. Thank you guys so much for listening.
Thank you.
All the usuals. Send your suggestions in to whatsyourfavoritescarystory@gmail.com. If you're able to, We appreciate any and all contributions to the podcast. It is going towards the podcast.
Yes.
To make it bigger and better for you guys. Mm-hmm. And we appreciate you guys.
Yeah, we do. We fucking love you guys. Thank you.
Anything else? I think we covered all of it in the beginning. And
yeah, we did.
All right. Well, in that case, stay spooky.